All right, let's talk about AI. Because, it's not some sci-fi movie concept anymore. It's here, it's right now, and it is changing literally everything. And if you want to navigate this new world, you've got to speak the language. So let's dive into the absolute must-know AI terms for 2025.
And just to get a sense of the scale we're dealing with, look at this number. $300 billion. That is the projected global investment in AI by 2030. This isn't just another tech trend, folks. This is a seismic shift in how the world works. So with that kind of money, that kind of momentum, the real question isn't about the tech. It's about you. Do you have the vocabulary to keep up, to actually understand what these tools do, the opportunities they create, and yeah, the risks too? Well, that's exactly what we're going to sort out right now.
And here is our map for the journey. Think of this as our game plan. We're going to break this whole thing down piece by piece. We'll start with the absolute basics, the foundations, like AI and machine learning. Then we'll jump into the really exciting stuff, generative AI. After that, we'll pop the hood and see how it all works, and finally, we'll talk about the really critical stuff, data, ethics, and what's coming next. By the end, this whole landscape is going to make a lot more sense. I promise.
Okay, first things first. Let's start at the very beginning with the core concepts. You got to think of these as the fundamental building blocks, right? Everything else we're going to talk about is built on top of these.
So, the big one, artificial intelligence, AI. What is it really? At its heart, it's just about building computer systems that can do things that usually require a human brain. Things like reasoning, learning from mistakes, and making decisions. OpenAI has a great way of putting it. It's about systems that can learn from experience and adapt.
Now, tucked inside the big idea of AI is a really crucial piece called machine learning, or ML. This is where things get interesting. Instead of a programmer writing code for every single possible outcome, we just feed the computer a ton of data and let it figure out the patterns for itself. It learns and gets better over time. This is the magic behind your Netflix recommendations, knowing exactly what you want to watch next.
Okay, so we've got our foundation poured. Now let's get to the part of AI that has completely taken over the conversation in the last couple of years, the generative revolution.
So what on earth is generative AI? Well, if traditional AI is about analyzing data that already exists, Gen AI is about creating something brand new, something original. We're talking text, unbelievable images, music, even working computer code, all made from scratch by an AI. The key word here is generate. It's a creator.
And you have definitely seen this stuff in action. I mean, who hasn't played around with ChatGPT or seen those mind-blowing images from tools like Midjourney? These are all perfect examples of generative AI, and they are completely changing the game in creative fields and beyond.
So how do these tools do it? What's the engine making it all happen? Well, that would be large language models, or LLMs. These are the absolute behemoths, models like GPT-4 and Claude, that have been trained on, frankly, an unimaginable amount of text and data from the internet. All that training allows them to understand and generate language that sounds shockingly human.
So we've talked about the what, which is super cool. But now let's geek out for a minute and peek under the hood at the how. What are the actual techniques that make all this magic possible?
It really comes down to this power trio. First up is deep learning. It uses these things called neural networks, which are kind of modeled after the human brain, with lots and lots of layers. That's the deep part. This lets it find super subtle patterns in data, which is how it gets so good at recognizing your voice or a face in a photo. Then you have natural language processing, or NLP. This is the bridge between our messy, human language and the rigid world of computers. It's how something like Alexa doesn't just hear words, but actually understands what you mean. And finally, there's computer vision. This is all about teaching machines to see and interpret the world like we do. It's the tech that lets a self-driving car tell the difference between a stop sign and a tree.
But powerful AI isn't just about clever code. It's also about what you feed it and the rules you set for it. And that brings us to the super important topics of data and ethics.
This is so important. Every single AI model runs on data. Data is its food, its fuel, its entire world. And if that data is bad, if it's biased or just plain wrong, the AI's results will be biased and wrong too. You've probably heard the saying, garbage in, garbage out. It has never been more true than it is with AI.
And as these systems get more powerful, you're going to hear these two terms a lot, AI alignment and AI safety. They're related, but different. Think of it this way. Alignment is about making sure the AI's goals are the same as our human goals and values. Safety is about putting guardrails in place to make sure it doesn't cause harm, even by accident. Both are absolutely critical.
So where is this all going? What's the next big thing? Well, it looks like we're moving from AI as a tool that we use to AI as a partner that acts on its own.
And that brings us to AI agents. Now, these aren't just chatbots waiting for you to type something. An AI agent is an autonomous system. You give it a complex goal, and it can reason, make a plan, and then go out and take the actions needed to achieve that goal. So instead of you doing 20 steps, you could just say, hey, plan and book my entire vacation to Tokyo. And it just does it. That's the future we're heading towards.
And why does learning all this matter? I mean, why should you care about this vocabulary? Because it translates into very real results. Businesses that are actually getting this right are seeing huge productivity boosts. We're talking 30 to 50%. Knowing the language is the first step to being a part of that.
I absolutely love this quote because it just perfectly reframes the whole conversation. People are scared about replacement, but that's not the point. The real goal is augmentation. It's about amplifying what we can already do. The winners in this new world are going to be the people who learn how to work with AI to boost their own creativity and intelligence.
So if you just take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. AI in 2025 is really about a balancing act. It's about this incredible, mind-bending new power we're unlocking and the immense responsibility that comes right along with it. You can't have one without the other.
So there you have it. You are now armed with the core language of AI. You can read the news, you can try out the tools, and you can be a part of the really important conversations that are happening. So the last question isn't for me, it's for you. Now that you have the vocabulary, how are you going to shape that conversation?
If you want to learn more about AI, do check other videos of this channel. Please subscribe so that I can continue making more such videos for you.